Ugh. Tanya,
Mm,
what questions did you have for Tabaash?
um, I think I just kind of asked him, like, when I think I hadn't transitioned out of my job yet. So like if and when I should do that. And he was like, right away. He was like, I see something coming up like within 1 to 2 months, and you should jump on it.
Okay, so he
And
he called that.
hmm
Okay.
and he was like, I see you going into hospice. Um, and I was like, no, please, I don't want to do hospice. Like, that's so depressing. And he was like, you cannot look at it in like in a 3D way. You have to look at it as if you're assisting this being that chose to come to experience this in a physical way, and you're assisting them back to the light. So shift your perception. And I was like, dang,
Mm-hmm.
that's hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
And he got teary-eyed and I got teary-eyed when he told me that. He's a beautiful soul. And then I was like, okay. I was like, let's see what happens. And literally 2 months after that, these people were calling me, and it was like headhunters, like those people that come after, like offering you these jobs, like, oh, we have these wonderful opportunities. Tanya, we have this pediatric hospice position. And then I was like, ding, 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 pediatric hospice. And we're offering you this amount. And I was like, oh, the money is good. And then we're like, oh, we're gonna do your resume, like everything. They did my resume, they set up the interview, they gave me all the interview questions, like
They edited and updated your resume so that it
everything,
was, wow.
everything. So I'm like, yo, universe, are you talking to me?
Mm.
Like,
Yeah.
and they sent me for the interview. They prepared me. She even called me the day before. She was like, okay, let's do prep questions. And I'm like, I need to do prep questions. You already sent me the stuff. Like, I'm an RN. I know what I need to do. I know how to sell myself. Like, come on. I did a whole big saging of myself because I'm like, I'm a go-getter. I'm gonna sell myself. And I went to the interview and it clicked. Everybody was so nice. Everybody was on the same page. And I was like, this doesn't make sense. This is I was shocked. Then they found out that I did Reiki and that I do hypnosis, and they were like, oh, we want you right away. We would love for you to do Reiki on our patients. Like you're just an awesome fit for the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I never had an interview like that. It was very strange.
Almost like it was like
Meant to
made for
be.
you.
Yeah, meant to be. Like, sometimes you have to sell yourself so much in these interviews.
Just because you think you're competing with so many people like to get
Mm-hmm.
it. But it's almost like sometimes you walk in
And it was meant for
and
you.
it was just like, they're just waiting to hear exactly what I have to say.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and for them to be in hospice with children with Western nursing and to be so excited for you to be well versed in hypnosis and Reiki when it comes to aiding in the the journey into another
What did I say?
the next step,
Like the next level stuff. Yeah.
next level step. Like for them to be excited that you are well versed in things more than just Western medicine,
Mm-hmm.
that's exciting in itself. That's how you should have known it was like
Yeah.
perfect for you.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Because I was looking for something more. I didn't know I was looking for something more. And then the something more happened, and I was like, oh, where have you been?
Hmm. I love
And
it.
then, yeah. And then I asked them things about like my relationship. And then some things come up, like, it's like sometimes you're looking for other things, or sometimes you think about other things, or you feel like you're lacking other things, girl, you ain't lacking a thing. You got everything you need. Stop doubting what you have. You have a complete package. Focus on your positives. You know, and then that keeps being like a reoccurring theme. You know, like you guys are like two puzzle pieces. You fit perfect together.
Mm-hmm. And again, it's just what you focus on, what you're
Mm-hmm.
looking at. Like, are you going to look at what you're missing? Because everything in life has not everything has something where you're like, well, what if this or what if
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
Everything. Because
What if he's not as spiritual as I am? What
mhm,
if he's not as blah 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 as I am? What, like, I think of myself as more book smart, but he's a common sense person. Like we all can be book smart, but hello, I'm not common sense. He's the very common sense person, and he's the very grounded person and the kind of go-to guy.
but that plays on duality
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and a yin and yang, having that
Balance.
balance
Balance.
is you are, man, I just sent this today. Let me let me let me read this because I just sent this today about yin and yang, and almost it's actually exactly what we're talking about because I was just discussing this exact subject in my own personal life. In ancient Chinese philosophy, yin and yang is a concept of dualism, describing how seemingly opposite or contrary forces may actually be complementary, interconnected, and interdependent in the natural world, and how they may give rise to each other as they interrelate to one another. So it's exactly that.
Mm-hmm. Makes perfect sense.
Hmm? So you have a choice to be like, oh, our differences, problems A, B, and C are, oh, our differences. Wow, I am really learning from this person. What an what an interesting but different perspective where I can learn from this, where I can like reflect. This is how I think, this is how you think, this is what you do, this is what I do. But having each perspective as above, so below.
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people can take that for granted, including yourself and myself in a moment. But then we get brought back to this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy to get caught up in those moments, in those, I call them bullshit moments.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, you didn't wash the dishes. Are you kidding me? I've been working all day. You've been home all day. This is your off day. And I come home and all the dishes are there. You for real? Oh my goodness. And then I'm like, you know what? And then I switch and I'm like, you know what? You're right. It was your off day. You're entitled to not do anything at all. It's your off day. Totally fine.
Because you immediately think, you didn't do the dishes when I asked you that. You don't value me
Mm-hmm.
enough to do the dishes. You don't value me enough to do the dishes when I asked you to do that. Therefore, you are this, and that. But instead, you shifted your perspective and said, oh, you know what? It is your off day. You deserve your own personal time and space to reflect on your life, who you are, your own personal internal turmoil or just thoughts in general.
Mm-hmm.
And you are entitled to that. And we are parents and we share this livelihood, and you're just as much human as I am. Like you were able to bring yourself to that perspective instead of being like, you are this, and that because you didn't do this, and that for me. you were able to shift it and look at it as, you are a person who has your own aura, your own energetic field, that, and you're working and you're doing this and you're immersing yourself in that, and you looked at him as another human being that
on his journey
that needed his own space. Because you guys are family too. You have children, and all your bubbles, your energetic bubbles, are interconnecting all the time, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Like, it's different for me. I live in my own apartment, even though partner or not. Like, I'm in my own space, and a lot of the time I'm choosing what is around me, what I want to eat, what I want to do, how I want to feel.
Right.
Because I don't have the things that you do that are choice or not in that moment, no matter how you're feeling. That's your family, and they're there.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot to come from a different perspective, like,
and to stay in like a place of love all the time,
no
it's
matter
exhausting.
what.
Oh my God, it's exhausting, Christina.
Well, especially with your job too, right?
Like today I had like a really, really emotional day because I'm really, really good at deflecting and kind of protecting my energy. And I just felt like every patient had a problem, and not like a physical clinical problem. I'm very good at clinically comforting people and making sure they're pain free and they're not short of breath, and like clinically wise checking all the boxes so everybody's comfortable. But it's like psychosocial issues. Like now we're talking about emotional things. Then I'm like, now you're calling me to dump emotional problems on me. And I'm like, I'm not okay with that. I'm
No,
like,
because
wait a minute.
you're not a therapist unless you're being paid to be a hypnotherapist.
Yeah,
like,
and now I have to draw the line somewhere because I don't want to come home with anything that doesn't belong to me, because I still have
and
to
you
be
will.
pleasant with my children.
And you will come home with that if you don't draw that line. Like, it wasn't for children, but we had a hospice nurse for my grandfather, and when it was a certain degree of just emotional stuff, we had to talk to each other as a family. We didn't call the nurse because that's her job with not only us, but other people. And I've been knowing and knew then how energy works, that you're immersing yourself in heavy, dense, sad, emotional energy.
How was your experience with hospice, by the way? Did you have a good experience?
My hospice experience wasn't by choice. I just had two of my main patients, and one random person I was filling in for died when I was with them. But I think that I brought them peace and it let them get to a space where they could pass away, because it could have happened before, but there's something that was lingering. And like I even said, I was like, am I like the angel of death? And my mom was like, don't say that, it's so negative. I was like, I don't know if it's that negative, because there's sometime, like, everything is eternal. We're souls, but this 3D world, we are temporary. And I think that I've always had an understanding of that, whether I realize it or not. You too. I think that's why we're in such interesting fields. Whether yours is like, you know what you're getting into. A lot of times I don't know what I'm getting into, but it happens that way anyways. Like two of them, clients for years, and they died when they're with me. The lady with MS, she died 3.5 years into me being with her, but she just needed someone to bring her peace in final days, even when she was losing like a lot of what was going on. Like she needed someone to see her and understand her and be there with her and treat her like a normal human being before she passed over. And I think that that is what happens to me a lot, that it's things that are already predestined, but I'm put there so that I can be a light before it happens.
I agree with
Like,
that.
yeah. And I think that it's the same for you. I think that not a lot of people can cope and deal with things, death like we can. Like, it's crazy though. I've been following this iguana on Instagram for like 4 years, okay? This iguana, because iguanas are wild. They are hilarious as shit. They have personalities. They wear fucking hats, whatever. They're crazy. Like, and their owners treat them like their children, okay?
I think they
And this
sleep with them
one,
too.
straight up. Actually, I literally wrap my bearded dragon up in a blanket and he sleeps next to me when my boyfriend's not there.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyways.
TMI.
Anyways, this iguana was treated like a child, really, and it was hilarious and great and fun, and I loved him. He was so expressive. Iguanas, they're very expressive, like people. It's fucking weird. But anyways, this iguana, I haven't been going on social media as much, but I went on the other day, yesterday, and this iguana had cancer, and it's been fighting cancer for a bit, and
God.
it's been a really emotional journey to watch because his human mother loves him like he's a kid. It's just so interesting. And yesterday I went on and I found out that he died, that his cancer got the best of him. And honestly, I was like it really fucking affected me. I was crying real tears, and I'm like, fuck, this is so interesting. Like, I am so devastated over this iguana's death because especially because of what we're in, I know exactly how his human mother feels right now. She is devastated. She is distraught. She doesn't have any children like her children are grown. I think her grandchildren are. This iguana was her world. This iguana was like her baby. And through this iguana's death, this sweet lady's life is flipped upside down. And it devastates me because I can take on that energy so easily. I just understand it. And that quote, it's both a blessing and a curse to feel everything so deeply. Because it is. Because it's a blessing because we can understand it well enough without fully taking it on that we can help other people. But a curse because the reason we can do that is because we're so empathetic that we don't want people to feel such pain.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I don't know. It's interesting being these people, and now you're in pediatrics. What's more devastating than like the loss of a child to a family? Because they're pure.
Yeah. I don't think anything. I
Mm-mm.
can't think of anything.
No.
I mean, I think it's a little easier when it's an adult because you kind of know they're older and they've probably been suffering with this thing for a while. But sometimes these things hit our little ones and they have like 4 to 6 months to live, and it's something quick, cancer or something genetic.
And though, with where we're at in our spiritual understanding, what about even though it's so devastating to lose. I think a lot of the time losing a child chose that and was on a mission, because with our understanding of what's going on, we as souls choose our family and what we're doing before we're born.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time when this happens, these children choose this because it helps certain family members evolve spiritually through
and I see that.
through such a tremendous loss.
And
a lot of the time, I think that kids that are lost and then their parents have another baby, a lot of the time their spirit incarnates.
Guess what? I have something like that going on.
With who?
Mother phone. Yeah.
With who?
Oh, with one of my patients right now. I have that same thing going on, like a patient passing and mom is pregnant. And it's freaky because I had the conversation with her and the mom straight up told me, like, because we're she's very much on my same page. She prays a lot and she's very spiritual as well. And she told me, first of all, before she got pregnant, the little girl told her she was pregnant. The little girl named the baby already, and she told her that or not that she told her, but well, she told her the sex as well. And then I have conversations with her, just trying to prepare her for the end of life symptoms and what to expect when, because we're getting closer now. And I say sometimes, they start seeing things and the little children will describe, like they see white things and blue orbs on the sides of their eyes. Like it gets really freaky. And they'll get scared. And I told the moms, like, listen, this is just a vehicle. This is not what the person is. The real essence of the person is the soul, and that's eternal,
Yeah.
and that will always be with you. And then the mom tells me, well, I guess she's making herself another vehicle. And I was like, is in the making right now. And she pointed to her stomach. And I got, girl, I'm getting goosebumps right now. And I got chills. And I was like, holy shit balls. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I got chills. I got, oof, my body. Oof.
There is a, there's this couple on Instagram that really cute family actually, and they had a son, and their son was like a toddler and got hit by a car. And this family was already like pretty popular online, and like their kid was like picture perfect mix of these beautiful human beings, and like their toddler was hit by a car. Devastating to everyone, like of them and then everyone, because they had already had like Instagram following with their family and the baby. But when they got pregnant again, and I was like, ooh, I got one of those
like right away,
those messages when I saw it. I was like, that's the
same soul.
That's that same baby. And then it was born, and it's a girl. It looks like the girl version of that little boy.
Oh my
God.
God.
Like exactly. I was like it just looks like the female version of the little boy that died. And I'm like, damn, like, and I got that message immediately with it. And then when I see the pictures, like those little voices and little messages, I'm like, damn. But you don't, and I can't be like, oh, I'm gonna write the parents. Like, you can't do that. You don't know their religious beliefs or what they're doing. They're not asking for that. But I see it. And if I was to ever have the opportunity to talk to them and say that I think that, I would. Or I'd give them, a hypnotherapy session or some type of reading whatever it is I'm doing, because I'm learning how to read the Akashic records right now.
That's
Whatever
cool.
it is, like I think that's what's going on.
Once you tap into the Akashic records, all bets are off, honey.
I know, and that's
You're gonna be like Matthias Stefano. My
he's
purpose
great.
is to remember. I
That guy's
love
so great.
him. I
That guy's
love
so great.
him.
He has such sparkly, trusting eyes.
Eyes.
His eyes, they're like
And he's
portals.
handsome.
They're portals to
He's a
like
channel.
a different dimension. I'm like,
He's a channel.
please tell me all of your information.
He's from Argentina. I did my research. Yeah. Exactly. ¿Cómo está usted?
Yes, yeah, that's what I think about that.
Yeah.
I made enchiladas tonight. He could taste them.
I'm sure he could.
He could.
Oh my God, I can't.
Okay. I gotta go FaceTime my friend actually about her life.
Let's get off.
Okay, actually, we save this recording though.
Yeah, I'm stopping.